Hey everybody, this is Ben. I am trying something new. I am just going to ramble about today's topic until I run out of things to say. And maybe it'll be interesting and maybe it'll be boring, but there's only one way to find out. Recently, I've been watching a lot of indie animation on YouTube. It's something that is interesting to me just conceptually. I'm a big proponent of indie media. I'm a big supporter of indie games. Some of the best games I've ever played are indie games. Talking about Outer Wilds, Terraria, legendary games, Undertale. That's not one of my faves, but that's an indie game that people really, really love. But that passion for indie has translated towards other fields, such as animation, which I feel like indie animation maybe is easier to do in a way that feels like professional and competent than like if someone tried to make an indie movie with no budget. Maybe this is a bad take. I don't know. Because I do like some indie live action stuff. Big Joel Haver supporter. Love that guy. But on the animation side of things, broad spectrum. There's like Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, which there are definitely. I don't really engage with fandoms just as a rule. I see a lot of stuff from fandoms that I'm like, I don't really like that. You know, I guess I never really understood the fandom as a concept. There are a lot of things I like. There are a lot of things that I like, really fucking like, but none that where I would want to like internalize that as a part of myself. Where like that is my identity. Like I absolutely love Star Trek. I've watched almost everything, missing some of the animated stuff. I only watched the first 2 seasons of Enterprise, and I couldn't do any more. It's just not as good. But yeah, I love Star Trek. I don't know if I would call myself a Trekkie. I'm not like a Star Trek fanboy. It's just something I really, really enjoy, if that makes sense. So going back to Vivzy, what's her actual name? Vivienne Medrano. Her stuff, uh, I do like. I guess at this point this is July 2025. A lot of that stuff a lot of her stuff, I should say, is being put onto like Amazon Prime. A24 helped out with the Has Been Hotel TV show. It's kind of transcending the indie pilot scene into like, oh yeah, this is like a real TV show. It might even been on like broadcast television. Not that that's the bar for like, oh, this is a real TV show if it was on ABC, but her stuff. She has 2 things or three things, but I haven't experienced zoophobia. So Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, all part of the Hellaverse. My quick review of that: Has Been Hotel, yeah. I mean, the pilot I liked at the time when it came out. I don't even know how long ago that was. 2019. Jesus. I was in high school when it came out. Or actually no, this is late. So I would have been just starting college. Time flies, man. But I thought it was fine at the time, and at around the same time the Hell of a Boss pilot came out, and I was like, this was Has Been is probably better. And then of course nothing happened for Has Been Hotel for 5 years, but Hell of a Boss, we're now sitting at 2 seasons of that, and Hell of a Boss I actually really like. It's definitely there are the memes that are like, haha, fuck, sex, shit, son of a bitch, but I would say it is more than that. It's got a good heart to it. It's pretty funny, and I'm not someone who laughs very easily, as I'll talk about later. But it's pretty damn good. I'm definitely looking forward to season 3. It's really has fleshed out this world of hell. I am looking forward to seeing what's next. Has Been Hotel, on the other hand, I have less good things to say about. It's not horrendous, but I don't know. It's just missing. It feels like so. There's 8 episodes of it, and it is just go 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 go. There's not enough time to really flesh out all these characters aside from like Angel Dust. A lot of the characters from the pilot that just like, and now they're here at the very end, don't get enough in the full real show still. And it's just not edited very well. There's a lot of jarring, like, movements of the camera. Charlie is just not as interesting of a protagonist as Blitz. It's easy to compare the two. And I think on its own, maybe Hazbin Hotel is alright. But compared to Hell of a Boss, it's a Hell of a Boss, I think, blows it out of the water. I quite enjoy that show. But that's enough talking about Vivzy Pop, because she does not dominate, or she might dominate, I don't know. There is other indie animation besides her stuff that I would like to talk about. The other ones that people probably know, I'm gonna talk about it. Again, I don't really know much about the fandom. I don't really engage with the fandom. I'll check Reddit or something. Maybe it'll pop up, but I objectively just the body, the text of the work, the amazing digital circus, which of course is in a lot of content farm stuff, but just the real work, I think is pretty good. It's of course animated by Glitch Productions and created by Gooseworks. Glitch has a whole bunch of shows, but I'll talk about the Amazing Digital Circus first, since that's what I saw first. It kind of blew up online, went viral, and I was like, you know what? Sure, I'll give it a shot. I'll see what the hype is about. And the first episode it's okay. It's interesting. Second episode, third episode, I think, was where I really kind of got it. Like, yo, yeah, this is really good. Really good characters, really interesting premise that we still, there's a lot to be revealed. There are definitely moments here, like, there are moments in the other shows where I kind of cringe a little bit, like, I don't know, this is something. I don't know. So I'm like a 20-something, and of course this is, because of the content farm stuff, this is very popular with children. Not that it is the intended demographic. Intended demographic, I think, is like teen. And there are times where I kind of cringe, and I'm like, maybe this isn't really for me. But then there are times where I feel like it's just genuinely good storytelling, and I can also come at it from a place of appreciation of all the work that goes into it. I am a game designer, and I've poked my head into all the different things. I took a class where I did 3D animation, and it was hard as fuck. And the level of skill that goes into indie animation, particularly 3D, crazy. I could never do it. And a lot of this stuff is really well animated. Episode 4 is fine. The newest episode 5, Untitled, I really enjoyed. There are a lot of great sequences of animation because it's like a bunch of rapid fire ideas. I particularly love, if you've seen it, the intermission, the music and the effects are really good. So it's a slow process, of course. It's not out weekly, it's out every couple months. But I'm eagerly awaiting the continuation of that. So at this point, I watched. What I'm about to talk about now is all going to be pretty recent from my point of reference. So after I watched episode 5, and it's like, oh, this is really good, I want more. I was looking back at the Glitch Productions YouTube channel, and they have other stuff. There was a pilot for a new show, The Gaslight District, that came out about, I don't know, a month or two before this last episode of Digital Circus I was talking about. So I watched the pilot for The Gaslight District. I really, really like it. Again, the animation is awesome. It's got a little bit of, it's kind of overplayed, but it's got that little bit of Spider-Verse-y, intentionally lower frame rate to give it more of a different feel as to just like 60 FPS Blender animation where everything is interpolated. Having just like really exaggerated keyframes really gives it a sense of style that isn't found in other places a lot of the time. But yeah, as I called it, it's the Spider-Verse thing. We are seeing it more and more. It was done well in Spider-Verse, and justifiably so. I look forward to seeing it more in the future. I think I'm holding up to the title of this where I'm just rambling. So Gaslight District, really good. And I want more. There's only one episode. What else is there? Murder Drones. That was the show that came out before The Amazing Digital Circus, which was made by Liam Vickers as the creator. I knew of it. Of course, at this point, it's been over and done with for many, many months. And I knew of it for quite a while. One of the animators for Glitch Productions, Kevin Temmer. I've seen some of his stuff. I think I subscribed to him for a while. Not at this point anymore, though. But I've seen like, oh, these are the shots that I did for Murder Drones. I might have even started watching the first episode, but, at the time, this many years ago, I definitely focused a lot more on like the cringe elements, and the animation seemed like pretty basic Blender, whatever. There's a ton of stuff that looks like that. At least that's what I thought at the time. But wanting more, I said, all right, let me watch Murder Drones. So I did, and it's pretty good. It's definitely, I would say, maybe the weakest of these three shows that I've watched that Glitch Productions have made, but it's still pretty good. Interesting story, interesting characters. I don't think this is a controversial opinion. It kind of fizzles out at the end. I think the final fight with the main antagonist of the series is kind of underwhelming, and kind of also leaves us on a cliffhanger when they have said many times that there won't be a season 2, which is confusing, but it is what it is. And what it is not bad. It's worth your time. I don't regret watching it. So at this point, I'm like, I want to watch more indie animation. I've been really enjoying all this stuff. So like that, the Vivzy Pop stuff is something that I've been continuously watching just as it comes out over the last couple of years. Everything I'm talking about right now is like within the last month or two. Before I talk more about Glitch, I want to go side thing. I don't know how well known this is. Lackadaisy. It was a webcomic. They did a pilot. They're trying to make a TV show right now. Watch the pilot. It's pretty good. I look forward to the TV show coming out. They got some good voice actors. I love me some Prosy D. He's pretty funny. Plays a good. Is he a villain? I don't know. I watched this pilot when it first came out. And recently, around this time, I went back and was like, oh, what are they up to these days? And the pilot was like 2 years ago, and we're still waiting on the TV show. I think they did a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or something. They're working on it. They're drip feeding, little behind the scenes stuff. There's a couple like mini short things I watched at this point, and they're good. Not a huge, oh, Lackadaisy is so good. But it was fine. Going back to Glitch. So Glitch, there has 3 shows I talked about. They have the Knights of Guinevere, first 2D show they're doing. That's in the works. Before any of that, they did 2 shows. Meta Runner and Sunset Paradise, which those 2 shows have something in common, that they are spin-offs of something else, and which is, at this point, I learned that Glitch Productions did not just spring from existence. It is a side venture that comes from something else, and that's something I don't know how well known this is SMG4, formerly known as Super Mario Glitchy 4. It's these brothers, Luke and Kevin. I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce their name. Their last name is like Super Mario meme stuff. At least that was my first impression, which I don't think is entirely inaccurate, but as a way to boil it all down. And Metarunner and Sunset Paradise are spin-offs featuring characters that were created in SMG4. And as some of you who are listening from maybe some of my other endeavors, like I'm going to plug my podcast right now, Who Viewed, an unofficial Doctor Who watch-along podcast. Go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. I am someone who I want to get the full picture of things. If something is a spin-off of another body of work, I'll do that other body of work first. I'll start with season 1 and go to episode 1, and then I'll watch episode 2. And if there's a other series that's in the same universe, I will watch everything in order. Like I'm watching the formerly Netflix Marvel shows. I'm doing it in the order that those seasons of shows came out, because that's how you maximize the referential connections between them. Which I really mostly care about Daredevil, but I'm watching all of Jessica Jones, all of Luke Cage, all of Iron Fist, and it's just so many hours of content. So I'm someone where that's what I do. So in order to, if I want to watch these other Glitch Productions shows, what do I need to watch? I need to watch SMG4. So for the last month or 3 or 4 weeks, that's what I've been doing with a lot of my spare time, is watching SMG4. And it's something. My understanding is the more recent stuff is quite different from their old stuff. And I know it's mostly episodic, it's mostly unrelated. I can just kind of jump in and figure it out. No, that's not what I'm going to do. I never do that for anything ever. I start with the very first episode of the channel. There's a wiki that kind of organizes it into seasons, primarily based on the year stuff came out. They started in 2011 when the Luke, main guy, was 12. So I start with the stuff that came out then, which has a 12-year-old's early 2010 sense of humor. There's a lot of stuff that is not what I would say is politically correct. A lot of words that are not okay to use for the person who he is, but times have changed, and setting that stuff aside, it's what a 12-year-old finds funny in 2011. It's pretty rough, but I'm nothing if not committed. So now here I am, a month later. I'm on, I don't think the creator acknowledges it, but it's what the wiki calls season 6. I've watched hundreds of his videos, and they've progressed quite a bit. I don't know if it's Stockholm Syndrome, making the best of a bad situation, but I enjoy it for the most part. There are definitely episodes that have some pretty good jokes in it. There are definitely some episodes I find just boring. I'm not someone that laughs pretty easily. I think it's gotten, this is a really bad ratio, but I've probably chuckled a couple times. Some sharp exhales a good number of times. A lot of stuff I can just acknowledge, yeah, that is funny, but it's not really making a physical reaction out of me. But yeah, I've watched so much, and it's getting better. It started as machinima of Super Mario 64, and gradually over time, it's especially at the point now, it's adding more original characters. He's got his older brother now doing the writing, so that it is a little bit higher bar of quality, maybe? I don't know, it's too early to tell. There's some voice acting elements, where before it was just silent subtitles. It's improved a lot. And I'm still not to the point where I can watch Metarunner or Sunset Paradise by my own rules, but I am getting ever closer. There's just a lot of SMG4, and I don't have to watch it all before I get to those shows, mostly because, those came out quite a while ago. So I don't need to like catch up completely with SMG4. I just need to get to like season 8, season 9, season 10, something like that. And then I can watch those shows and complete my Glitch Productions checklist, which that'll be good, I guess. I don't know. I've heard good things about Metarunner. I've poked around on Reddit and other sites. Sunset Paradise I see less positive, or not as many positive comments for, but I'm still looking forward to it. I've heard good things about the character of Meggy. But yeah. So much indie animation there is. Trying to think if there's any other kind of indie animators I could just like shout out, I guess. I think these are fairly well known. Natural Habitat shorts. Their stuff is pretty funny. There's MeatCanyon. I don't know why I'm still subscribed to that guy. It just doesn't fill me with joy. There's a couple that are like kind of funny, like the Willy Wonka one he did. Most of the time I'm just left like, this doesn't feel good. And I think that's the point. But I don't know. I feel like I don't need it in my life. FilmCow. I suppose this is more going into just like animated sketch comedy stuff. But yeah, FilmCow is pretty good. Andyland. He's got a game coming out. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, right. I want to talk about this. Speedo-Roo. Punch Forever. I quite like those. Really slow burn. But as someone who's a fan of anime, I like a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's really fun, really funny. Good fight scenes. It's really good. I am looking forward to that. Oh, and how could I forget Worthy Kids? Bigtop Burger. Ooh, that's a really good show too. Episodes are so short and they don't come out quick enough though. But he's really funny. And again, we're in season 3 of Bigtop now. That's coming along pretty good. More fleshing out of this strange world of clowns who worship the play Cats. Yeah, it's really good. So much good indie animation stuff that you should all check out. Some of it's cringe and some of it's good. Take the cringe with the good, and it's fun. Check out everything I talked about. I guess I could even throw links in the description to like channels and stuff that I've mentioned here, so you can check them out for yourself if anyone watches this video. We'll see, but I may do this again. Check it out, subscribe. I don't know if there would be a schedule or not. We'll see what happens, how this progresses, but have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out.